Welcome back, dear listeners. We often talk about the warning signs of unhealthy relationships, but today we're shifting the focus. What does a healthy relationship actually look like? I'm joined again by a therapist who also happens to be my co-writer Gladys to talk about the equality and respect wheel. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Lola. I'm so glad we're having this conversation. I love this conversation because it gives people something to move toward instead of something to move away from.
So let's start simple. What is the equality and respect wheel?
So, the quality and respect wheel is a model that shows the core elements of healthy, non abusive relationships. While the power and control wheel shows the harmful behaviors, this wheel highlights what respect, safety, and partnership looks like in real life.
Walk us through some of those key pieces.
Absolutely. At the center is equality, meaning both people have equal values, voice, and respect. Around that are several important behaviors that people who value each other express. So there are non threatening behaviors, feeling safe to express yourself without fear. There's respect. So listening, valuing opinion, and honoring boundaries. There's trust and support, encouraging each other's growth and each other's independence. There's honesty and accountability to taking responsibility for your actions, shared responsibility, making decisions together, economic partnership, which is fairness in financial decisions, responsible parenting, so being cooperative, respectful, and if you need to co parent, you also have those same values of being cooperative and respectful with the other person. And then there's negotiation and fairness. So when resolving conflict, it's resolving conflict without fear and control.
That sounds simple when you list it, but not always easy in practice.
You're so right, Lola. Healthy relationships require intention. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency and the willingness to repair when harm has been done.
How can someone use this wheel in their own life?
So they can use this tool, it can be like a reflection tool, so to say. So ask yourself these questions. Do I feel safe speaking up? Are decisions shared? Am I respected even during conflict in my relationship? And just as important, am I offering these same things in return? All right, Lola. So here I'm going to put a shameless plug for myself. So, as a therapist and as a coach, um, I do work with people who have experienced domestic violence, and we will go through the power and control wheel, and then we'll go through the equality wheel together in our sessions. I also got the opportunity to become a BIP facilitator. So BIP stands for Battery Intervention and Prevention Programs. The Each state has their own way of producing these classes, but what happens is when there's a domestic violence situation and the perpetrator is brought before a judge, the judge may offer them the opportunity to do a BIP class as part of the process to get their charges dropped, and in order to help the person to understand what it is that they did wrong. So they would order them to go to BIP classes, and there are various people, around the city that do BIP classes, and they you look for the BIP class, you enroll, and you have a BIP facilitator, and then they go through the exact same thing. They go through the power and control wheel, and they go through the equality wheel. Of course, those classes are a lot more going a lot more in depth than what I'm saying right now, but um, there is the opportunity to go through those BIP classes.
So, as I am listening to you, Gladys, it occurs to me that this isn't just about evaluating others, but ourselves too.
You got it. So, healthy relationships are built on both people showing up with respect and accountability.
What if someone realizes their relationship doesn't reflect this wheel?
So that is awareness, and awareness is very, very powerful. It doesn't automatically mean that the relationship is beyond repair, but it does mean that something needs to change. So if there's a pattern of control, fear, or harm, it's important to seek support and to prioritize safety. And that's where therapy, coaching, counseling, all of those different things come into play.
We have talked about a lot of important things today. We all want safety and respect in our relationships. Before we close, what message do you want our listeners to hold on to?
Lola, I want our listeners to know that healthy love is not confusing. It feels safe, supportive, and respectful. You deserve a relationship where your voice matters. So, like I have said before, therapy and coaching are one way to help yourself to move through these segments of the power and control wheel and the equality wheel. So, if you're looking at your relationship and you're feeling like it's not matching the equality wheel, reach out for resources. There are resources out there. There is the domestic violence hotline. You can call 1-800-799-7233, or you can use the text line. So you can send a text. You can text START, START, to 88788. And when you do those things, there will be somebody on the other end of the line who can guide you to resources or guide you to a place where you start to feel a lot safer.
Healthy relationships are not built on fear. They are built on respect. Check in with yourself. Check in with your people. And remember, love should feel like safety, not survival. Thank you, Gladys.
Thank you, Lola. I'm so glad we did this segment together. So, this is our second interview type segment. And so, I'm definitely looking forward to us doing more, especially with May being Mental Health Awareness Week. I wanted to also take a moment to remember those who are struggling, those who are going through domestic violence situations right now. Let's keep them in our thoughts and prayers. And like Lola said, check on your people. Check on your people. Check on yourself. Make sure that your behaviors are reflecting equality and safety. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you for listening. You can find us on Facebook and other platforms for many more emerging stories. Sometimes we post several times a day. Let us know what stories you would like to hear. Grant thy favor, subscribe, say hello, and return for the next tidings of the realm.